Hey everybody, it's your girl Tiffany coming live from my room. but I just wanted to present this to you guys. This is my baby. Um, it's been in my brain for, I don't know, probably 3 years, and I really gave it effort, put work behind my words last year. So all of these interviews are from last year. Um, and I know that's crazy, but I'm bringing them to you now. Um, I really don't want to present any excuses. I'm not about excuses. I'm about progress and moving forward. So, um, yeah, I am a true amateur when it comes to videography. Um, I was pretty much a one-woman team, minus one of the shoots. I had help from friends and a guy who owned the building that the interview was taking place in. But otherwise, I was on my own. So that will show. And just wanted to put that out there for the hiccups that you will see. I hope it doesn't take away from your experience. I hope you learn about these people, you get to know these people, um, you support these people most importantly. Um, so yeah, I just really, really, really want to thank them for their time and their energy and just sharing a part of their vision for their lives and their dreams with me. Because I know it's not easy all the time to be open with someone about what you're pursuing, especially when you're in those early stages. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to all the people that will be presented in this first season of Uncharted. I greatly appreciate you, Paradox, Benzo Dina, Chris Wisdom Leger, and Robert World Class Clown Bass. I really, really appreciate you sitting down with me and sharing your stories, your gifts, your journey. I do not take it for granted, and I am so thankful. Um, Before I hop in to the video, which this first video features Paradox, I just wanted to give you really what Uncharted is and who's Uncharted, basically. Uncharted, as you will find out from my signature question, which is when did you decide to stop asking the world for permission? Uncharted is the answer to that question for me. So when you let go of fear and you let go of people's opinions and you let go of people's narratives for your life and you start to believe in the things that God has placed in you, and that passion, that purpose He's placed in your life and in your heart and your spirit that keeps calling you even when you walk away, that is what Uncharted is. Like, it's just that thing. And it's really when you stop listening to others and just chase that. So that's what Uncharted is. Who is Uncharted? Uncharted is for the dreamer, but not just the person who dreams. It's for the person that when they wake up, they start chasing that dream, even if it's little by little, hour by hour, minute by minute, part time. You know, if you have a dream or a vision or a goal and you're chasing that, you're Uncharted. It's putting work behind your words or putting faith behind your words and just really going out there. So if you work full time for someone else and as soon as you get off, you go to the studio or you go to the art gallery or you go to practice or you go home and you're on the you're blogging, you're doing anything, you own a small business, you are Uncharted. And I would love to meet you. So if you fit the definition I just said, I would love to sit down with you. I would love to hear your story. I would love to share your story. So yeah, like I said, this video features Paradox, who is a native of Miami, who is a rapper, and I'll just let him tell you who he is as you watch this video. All right. I love you guys for your support. As always, I'm about honesty because I can only grow when you're honest. So if you watch this video, even if you have negative input, leave it in the comment section. If you loved it, leave it in the comment section. If you think there's something I could work on, leave it in the comment section. This is about growth, not only for me, but for the people that are featured. So you will not hurt my feelings. So yeah, without further ado, I am Tiffany Nicole, and this is my baby, Uncharted. I hope you enjoy. Until next time, bye guys. When did you decide to stop asking the world for permission?
Look, we've been conditioned to settle, lost in position. The costs are ridiculous. This is more than superstition, the sick addiction. Causing negativity, we stuck the missing. I'm spitting real life, hoping that you listen. Just spelling the fiction, paradox, I'm just spitting. Freestyling off for the top, so none's written, but still hitting. Barry Bonds in his prime with the Roy's in his veins. Still insane, spitting off the top of my brain. Cozy Victor to the right of me. Got hip-hop flowing off through my veins and my arteries. Looney loving on the behind, and I'm still coming busting rhymes like flip mode and they primes like woo-ha. I got you all in check, got my C on the stage and I'ma hit that next. Dropping under 16, I'm a super vet, cause I've been at it since about 3. Writing these checks, writing these lines, soaring off like war jets. 747, I'll be busting through like AK-47. Freestyling, I'm throwing these flow patterns off. I'ma pass it to whoever wanna hop it up.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Miami's own Paradox. Say hi to people.
How you doing? What's going on?
So tell us a little bit about yourself before I hop into this interview.
Well, like she said, I'm Paradox. I'm an MC, musician, you know, just making positive music and trying to impact people through it all. It's pretty much all there is to it.
Well, that's a better intro than I was gonna give you. So you dropped a project called Murderous Enlightenment, and I just want you to give us, you know, a little behind the scenes on the name.
The name started off as a spoken word piece in high school, but conceptually it's just a kind of play on the truth hurts thing. And the fact that in order to grow and elevate, sometimes you got to kill off parts of you. So in order to enlighten yourself, parts of you have to die. Hence, Murderous Enlightenment. Yeah.
All right, you said it came from a spoken word piece in high school. And I know at the end of the song titled It's Your World, you recite a poem. Do you consider yourself a poet and a musician, or do you think the two are interchangeable?
Some people think it's interchangeable. For me, they're two separate lanes completely. Only because I'm in a different place mentally. The way I write is different. The way I think is different. So I don't really put them together. You know, I started off doing poetry first. Rap kind of came later. So they kind of run separate.
So why did you put the poem on the end of the song?
It naturally felt right. I had just written a piece after hearing about the passing of Maya Angelou, who was a major influence. Just the words that she spoke and the legacy she carried out. And I remember sitting on It's Your World and realizing that it was the last song and I wanted it to feel complete. And I recalled on the Commons version, because that's where I got the beat and the song concept from, he had his dad do a poem at the end. So initially I reached out to a local poet who's like my father figure kind of thing in the poetry world. Like, he taught me a lot, influenced me. So I hit him up to do it, but he couldn't because of scheduling conflict. So like last second I was like, all right, I just wrote this poem the other day, it worked, so I slid it in. It worked out.
Okay, you just mentioned you got that idea from a Common song, but you also sample like Biggie's Juicy and Talib's Get By.
Right.
And your album just kind of feels 90s, like it feels good. So like who influences you musically?
A lot, to be honest. But like as far as MCs, like just to throw random names out, definitely Talib, definitely Pop, Eminem,
Lupe Fiasco, early Kanye.
You sampled Lupe.
Cassidy. You know, I said him. Yeah, Big too. A lot of different people.
Okay. So you sampled Talib's Get By on the album. And you say Christian MCs whack counsel that. Were you referring to yourself as a Christian MC?
Yeah, definitely. In that line, I was. Normally, I kind of leave it up in air, but in that particular line, I guess it was a kind of self-proclamation thing, saying, hey, like I'm dope and I'm Christian at the same time. It was one of them lines, so yeah, you could say that.
Do you think that limits you in any way?
Definitely, to some extent. You know, it shouldn't be, but there's a perception that Christian hip-hop is second-rate or corny. And then on top of that, too, a lot of people who aren't Christians may feel like your music is designed for Christians. Right. So it's like if you put that title, this is Christian hip-hop, they feel like, oh, it's not for me, or they can't relate to me. So it kind of puts a wall up. So in ways it limits you.
How do you break down that wall? Or do you try to break down that wall, or you just let the music do what it does?
By just being dope, really. Like I know that's simple, but not. But not realistically. Like I learned my role in this music thing is to kind of play the middle line, and it's something that just happened gradually. It wasn't something I premeditated or said this is my approach, but it just came down that way when I looked at my bookings, and it's like most of my shows were like in clubs and lounges and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget a host sitting down with me. It was like, you know what I like about you, Paradox? I was like, what? He was like, you're dope and you're a Christian. And I could take you to a Christian station and say, you have a really dope, strong message and a solid foundation. But then I could take you to a label or underground station and say, yo, I got this MC. You should check him out because he's dope. So I realized that's kind of my platform, you know, to just make honest music. And I feel like it'll reach who it needs to reach.
All right. That brings me to another question. How do you think your faith contributes to your success?
Just everything, realistically, because without my faith and me seeing what I've seen, I probably wouldn't be here right now. And if I was here, I probably would have quit. You know, I would have just been kind of walking the line. I wouldn't be striving for nothing greater. So this is honestly everything.
So you said you would have quit. So you thought about quitting before?
This is a hard business. You think about quitting every day.
I mean, I'm not arguing. But, so, I guess you kind of answered the question. So, you thought about quitting, but your faith is what kept you going.
I mean, that in purpose. It's like when you understand what you're doing and what you're doing it for, you can always bring yourself back to that. Every time I think, all right, I'm not making it nowhere, I should chill out. I remember that one person at the show was like, yo, I heard what you said, and it changed my complete perception. Or, you know, I heard what you said, and I really should change the way I'm living and do better, think better. Those are the moments that remind me like I'm reaching somebody, even when it don't feel like it. And that's what keeps me pushing.
So you said you don't often refer to yourself as a Christian MC. So but you are Christian and you are MC.
Yeah.
How would you describe your sound?
My sound, sonically, or just like in general? Like, talking about, all right, you said sound, so I'll take that question. that answered itself. But yeah, like sound, just musical, you know, a little bit of jazz influence, definitely boom bap. I like sample-based stuff, so in 3 words, I say musical, jazzy, boom bap. Feel good music overall, like that's the goal. So,
definitely got the feel good part when listening to Murderous Enlightenment. So this is up.
Good to know the mission is accomplished.
I'm over you. As an MC, what do you think the game is missing right now?
Honesty. A lot of people feel like they gotta be this image. Like, I'm a rapper, so I gotta be a thug, and I gotta sell drugs. But that's not everybody's story, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong if that is your story, because you're gonna talk about what you know, but it's a lot of people who feel like there's one way to do it. So I feel like even if that is your life, talk about the negative aspects of it. And, you know, because everything isn't always glamorous. There's times where, you know, you got beef and cats is coming at your neck. Maybe you got shorted on such and such, and you got all types of pressure. Like, the point is, negativity ain't positive. Even with me as a Christian, everything isn't great in my life all the time. You know what I mean? So that's another reason why I don't put that Christian hip-hop stigma, because I don't want it to come off as, it's just hallelujah. God is great all the time. You know, I try to come from a more real aspect and paint that darker picture when you wake up and you don't know if God exists. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how life will kind of make you think. Or when you wake up and things aren't happening as quick as you think they will. So that honesty, that's the beginning.
No, I like the long answer. So
I realized I was kind of talking. I was like, yeah.
We gonna set it off like this. We facing abomination and niggas slacking. Lack of education, just bird flipping and triggers clapping. Fights and ratchets. So we facing abomination and niggas slacking. Lack of education, just bird flipping and triggers clapping. Fights and ratchets, just to keep us occupied and clapping. Occupied, just stuck up in this stupid rapping. I switch it up and freestyle, forget the 16. I spit mean, paradox, I'm coming to destroy teams. Off the top I pierce through like a laser beam. Pierce through so hard that you can feel a sting, and you can peep the steam. The mic is on fire, killing off the game in all competitions a liar. Let's get into Wannabe. I don't even know what he got up there. He got me on a mystery site right now. Play the Wannabe joint first. Oh, I want every hand in the building up like this right here. This is the new joint, never performed it, unreleased, so what up? Yo, I used to wish that I could be 6'5" and learn to fly. Get my face plastered on the cover of NBA Live. Before the wave switched from EA to 2K. Come home school days with cartoons and Kool-Aid. Sit and visualize the false realities that you made. Before you had a real phone, your bills was prepaid. Ha. If you had one at all, if you ain't rockin' J's, use the last stock of all. Yo, but all in all, life was simple. All your worst problems was girls, grays, and pimples. Before it switched to babies, A's, and pistols. We were trying to rock forces and hoodies as babe issue. Snatch babes despite weight issues. They say it's cool, I dig you. Still find a way to dish you. But I fought hard to grab the victory. You ain't worth nothing if you still have virginity. I wish I was a little bit taller. Wish I was a baller. Wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a back, a 6'4" Impala. Your turn, I wish I was a little bit. Wish I was. Wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a back. I used to wish that I stacked bread like the drug dealers. Back when cats raced dirt bikes and four-wheelers. When dudes was putting on frontin' like they real killers. And rest in peace to the homies who don't live with us. Never fit the line, always been clever. As a kid reading Malcolm X and built to Mega Evers. Never held the tongue too many times severed. Dots withhold the truth, not ever. I used to wish I was a lot of things. Rapper with soul out hits, chains and diamond rings. Then you realize the gleam ain't how it seems. Truly finding yourself is the final thing. Lose your plot for what to living on your dreams. Cause when you lost in the door, what does it even mean? Chasing potential I can never see. Long as I live, I just wanna be me.
Like it.
So is that what you think you're bringing into the game?
Definitely. You know, that's my impact. People often tell me, you know, you're being too open. You shouldn't talk about these certain subjects, or you shouldn't say that. But my thing is why? If I'm in it to tell my story, shouldn't I tell all of it? There's no reason why I should be putting away, all right, I'm going to tell you this, but I can't tell you that. You know what I mean? Like, you cripple yourself and you cripple your influence.
Wow. So how did you get into music? Like, when did you start? And did anybody help you when you first started?
Gotta go. Funny story. So coming up, I was really old school. Like, I ain't even listen to like hip hop and rap, nothing like that. I was like 60s, 70s, 80s. That's where I was as a kid. Like, talking about walking around 9 years old with Temptations on my CD. Like, that was me. But I used to write because my mom was a poet and she wrote short stories. So she used to inspire me to write to deal with my little issues. But I had a little bit of erratic anger issues back then, so yeah, you wouldn't believe it. But yeah. So I used to write, you know what I mean? Just poetry and like stories. Then one day I was in a summer camp and we were in the cafeteria because we used to wait in the cafeteria after the camp was over. And legit, I just was walking around and there was a table and I saw a kid just spazzing, like screaming. I'm like, what's going on? So you're a kid, you know. So I'm walking over. I'm like, okay, let me see what's popping. Sure enough, two of the kids was having a rap battle. I never seen like hip hop in real life at that point. I heard what was on the radio and that was it. So one of the cats decided to turn his whole battle and just stay aligned towards me. And here I am, probably like 9 years old. I don't know what to say. So everybody like, oh, you gotta say something. He tried you. Da, da, da. So I remember I had probably just heard like the Black Album that morning from my brother. And the Jay-Z line that allowed me to reintroduce myself. I said that, and I like spelled my name out and like freestyle whatever came out for 6 bars. Cafeteria went crazy, and I guess quote unquote I won my first battle that day. And then at that point, that's when I was like, you know what? I should write songs and do stuff.
Wow.
So that was the early conception. That was the early conception.
Dang, 9 years old. Getting called out.
That's how it happened. And of course, since then, 3 years back is when I decided to take things serious and actually make a career out of it. So I've been pushing since then. As far as people who helped me out, my team, shout out to Maurice, Sato, Deshelle. I gotta shout out my boy D too, because in high school he was one of the cats who used to be on my case, like, oh, you need to record, you need to rap, like you got potential. It's a lot of people that kind of pushed me throughout. So, man, now we here.
So I guess wrap everything up for me. What is Paradox's message?
That's a good question. I like that. The overall I guess you could say the message is just like my personal line that I use as my motto is to change minds one line at a time. Like that's the brand, I guess, in a sense. But that's just really how I feel ultimately. Mm-hmm. So it's just to show people that there's more out there. It's like you can be you. You can escape your situations. Like no matter how things look right now, there's always better. Like as long as you keep pushing. So that's what I'm here to tell people. Just keep striving.
I think that's a good message. So I'm gonna take you out of like talking about yourself, mm-hmm. and I'm gonna try to get you to help some other people. Cool?
Okay. That's cool.
Okay. So say there's a kid right now.
Okay.
And they have talent, but they're just a little nervous about going out there. What's your advice to that kid or a person? It could be an adult.
As cliche as it is, honestly believe in yourself. I feel like we all have a passion and a purpose. So if we're given that passion, it's for a reason. So there's no reason why you should be sitting here sleeping on your ability to do something. So you gotta believe in you before anybody else do. So as long as you're doubting and chilling, you're not gonna go anywhere. And I've been there, so I know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been there for a few years. So just believe in you and keep pushing. That's the best advice I can give.
Okay. What's the biggest misconception about, I don't know if I would say hip hop or music? Let's go with music.
Okay. I like it. It's more general. Okay. It touches more people. The biggest misconception about music, that is an easy path. I feel like nowadays we lowered the line so much that we have this new wave of people coming in. Oh, I don't even know how to rap, or I just started making music, and now they popping off of joke records. So it's like because of that, people feel like, oh, everybody can rap, so I'm gonna just do it to get a check. I feel like in every craft there is, you gotta believe in what you're doing. And if you don't take it seriously, all you're doing is taking up space, in my opinion. So I feel like that's the biggest misconception. Like if it's not really in you, don't get into it.
Okay. What made you fall in love with music, or again, I'm gonna say music. I'm not gonna say hip hop. What made you fall in love with it?
Like I said, I've always been a fan of music. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, walking around, headphones on, and I was really to myself back then too. So music kept me here realistically. Like at a point, that was that friend, that you talk to and confide in. Like even now with me doing music, it's an escape, it's therapeutic. So it's just that relationship, I guess, with it that drew me to it and kept it strong. That's what I'm saying. Like it's real. Like you gotta have that.
Yeah.
A lot of people just feel like, all right, I'm gonna go rap now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay. Don't make make joke records, okay?
It's crazy.
He does not appreciate it, people. Stop.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like really, but you know what I'm saying.
I know what he's saying. So is that the same reason you decided to pursue it, or is that totally different?
I mean, partially, yeah. You know, because I take it seriously. It's always been something, you know, for years. I guess I just really started pushing a few years ago, but I've been really doing music since like high school. It just was really closet and nobody really knew about it. So I've been doing it for a long time. And back to that purpose thing, you know, I feel like if I don't push, I'm failing people who need to hear what I have to say. So that's kind of what keep me pushing and make me want to push it. Cause like I feel like it's too many people out here who need to hear the real. Like I feel like the game is missing that a lot. So try to beat that.
So do you think that's been like your greatest asset in like this journey in music, or what would you say?
Definitely passion. And I guess just my mindset on how I approach things. Let's see. My greatest asset is probably just the fact that I'm honest. You know, I try to make everything conversational without being boring. I try to stretch that middle line between like being lyrical but making songs relatable and giving you that vibe. At the end of the day, I want you to feel like you gained a piece of me in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, okay, he could rap, but that's it. You know, like, I want you to be able to sit there and be like, dang, I felt like he was talking to me, like that connected with me. That's kind of my main strength, I guess, just making it relatable in conversation.
I think it's a great strength, and I'm serious. Like I listened to the album, so I'm telling you, it feels good. It feels like growing up. I don't know how to. I think it will be different for everybody. Like what their feel good feeling is, but like it feels good. What was your biggest hindrance?
I guess just the fact that I don't jump for every opportunity. You know what I mean? Like everything that I do has to make sense. So it's like I'm not gonna come out here and follow a trend because the trend's gonna disappear. There's been a lot of opportunities to come up to do certain things that I could have done that probably would have propelled me further. But I would rather kind of stay in my lane and do what I'm doing. So you could say it's been a great hindrance, but at the same time, it's propelled me in what I'm doing. So it's a double-edged sword to be authentic.
I'm stealing your lingo. I dig that.
That's what we're doing.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
That's a good question. And that's the question that you always know is coming. You're never ready for it.
Ever. You're never ready for it.
Even when you know it's coming. It's just, I guess in 5 years, just to be plain, like I just see myself establishing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say I'm gonna be like a major household to a name, but I want at least to have some type of foundation under me. You know what I mean? Where people know what I'm doing. Honestly, I want to be living comfortably off of it. And just doing what I'm doing now at a greater scale, to be honest. Making dope music, reaching people, and giving other people the opportunity to do the same.
Okay, that's 5 to 10 years. But what's the ultimate goal? Like ultimate end all, be all for you?
To look back at moments like this and say I accomplished it. You know, everything that I put in the work, all of the heartache, all of the stress, all of the setbacks, to know that it was worth it and that I live with no regrets, and I'm able to say that I wouldn't do it over. I feel like that's the ultimate self-actualization point, like to fulfill everything. Now I have to think, well, what if I did this, or I should have done that. So that's pretty much that end point.
I don't think I was ready for this interview. I think I'm learning a lot right now. I'm motivated. I'm being serious too.
I feel you.
So, what is like your favorite scripture, your life mantra? I don't know, like a go-to quote that keeps you motivated.
For one, this is what I mentioned earlier, the changing minds one line at a time. That's a definite. You know what I'm saying? It just keeps me focused on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And as far as scripture, it's Galatians 6:9, which tells you that don't stress when things aren't really going how they're supposed to go, how you feel like they're supposed to, because in due time you'll reap what you sow. So it's like just keep pushing, and eventually when it's time, everything will work out. So I always try to keep that in the back of my mind too.
Okay, my last question. When did you decide to stop asking the world for permission?
I guess it began probably
What's she gonna say? Sometime long time
Nah.
ago, made me feel real bad.
It wasn't
about
that
my
long
life.
ago. I mean, realistically, coming up, I just always had a different mindset and didn't really want to do what they told me I had to do, even as a kid. But you don't fully walk in it yet. But as far as with the music thing, probably like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I'll say, like a little bit before Murderous Enlightenment dropped. Because at that time, I had been doing music for so long, and I had people around me doing it and progressing. And I was kind of looking for that handout, like, okay, bro, like, you know I'm dope, pull me on. Like, that's what I was looking for at the time. But it just wasn't happening for years, like probably from the time I was in high school till about like 3 years ago. It was like that struggle of, trying to find a wave to get on. Until finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to create my own. Like, I'm going to just start from scratch and build my own team. And look, here we are. We got a project. The next one's coming out, and I got a pretty solid team around me. So, yeah, I don't know if that really answered the question. But
I think it did.
We pushing, Because
Right.
what you said is important. You got to find that point where it's like, nobody's going to do it for me. So I got to do it for myself. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for sitting down with me.
Nah, it's no problem.
Give the people your social media and all that, so they know where to find you.
It's Lyrical Paradox 1. Everything straight up, the digit 1 at the end. That's my Instagram, Twitter, and SoundCloud. So you find one, you find them all.
And Murderous Enlightenment is on that pill, right? And
Yeah, and
right?
SoundCloud.
And SoundCloud. So go and listen to it. I'm telling you, it feels good, and I don't know. You gotta listen, and then you have to tell me how you felt.
Absolutely have to. You do.
Alright, till next time, everybody. I'm Tiffany, and this is Paradox. Bye.
Always legit, authenticity is key. Paradox,